to make some harvest pumpkin tarts. Rather than like a big pumpkin pie, we're just making a small little tarts, quick and easy. I'm pre-baking my little tart shells. I just like to make sure that they're cooked all the way through, so I'm only doing a partial bake on them first, then I'll fill them and then continue baking them. So what I have is 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and I have 1 1/4 cups. It calls for 1 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree or canned pumpkin. I happen to have closer to 2 cups just because that's what I had in my freezer, because I do my own pumpkin every year. I get a pumpkin, I cook it up, and I just put them in packages because it's great for muffins and loaves. So mine is closer to 2 cups, but that's okay. Mine also wasn't a very orange pumpkin this year. It's a bit more yellow, but that's okay. It still tastes like pumpkin. And I just heated mine up because it was frozen. It actually had quite a bit of water in there, so I just boiled it a minute to get the excess water out of my pumpkin. I also have 2 tablespoons of some brown sugar, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I have an egg. We're just going to whisk all these together until your batter is all nice and smooth. So this will just take a minute to just get this mixed up, and then I'll also get my tarts out of the oven and get them filled. So I'll show you that once all those tarts come out of the oven. Alright, so I've only pre-baked my tart shells maybe for about 8 minutes. I just want to make sure that they get cooked through, because sometimes when you have a very liquidy filling, it takes a little longer for the tart shell to cook. So I just wanted to make sure that those will be done. So these will go in the oven for probably about 25 to 35 minutes. You want to bake them until the centers becomes firm and set. So every oven is going to be a little different, and depending on how liquidy your pumpkin was, my pumpkin was quite liquidy because it was frozen, not canned. So mine will definitely take a little longer in the oven. So that's why you kind of have to watch your time. Check it at the 15-minute mark, 20, 25, just keep an eye on that. Putting these in the oven, be careful because it's liquidy. You just don't want to be spilling everywhere as you put them in the oven. So 375, I'll let you know how long I actually put mine in for. Yours might be a little bit different if you're using canned pumpkin. So we'll just get these in and we'll take a look at them when they're partway through their bake. All right, so this is 20 minutes. They are not set yet. They're baking up nice though, so I'm going to keep them in longer. I'll show you again in another 5 to 10 minutes. All right, so these were in for 30 minutes, and if I jiggle them, they're not jiggling, so they are set inside. So I am going to pull these out. Mine were in for 30 minutes, and that'll all firm up nicely once they cool down. So there are your tart shells. And I will find the recipe, and I will also put that on here so that you can see the recipe. Feel free to serve your pumpkin tarts with or without whipped cream. It's a great addition to your holiday serving. You can easily freeze these before you put whipped cream on and pull them out when you need them. And it's just the perfect amount of pumpkin. You don't have to have a big piece of pumpkin pie. Here you got your nice little pumpkin tarts, and here's the recipe.